Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Dutcher Gaming, and sort of an emergency video on the channel. Now, if I wasn't a genuine content creator, I would just not bring this video out and let you level with the trees that I've recommended in the guide because it works, but I've done a couple more leveling runs and it is actually really difficult to get your attributes. You have to end up having suffixes on gear to craft. You sometimes get stuck because you can't level stuff up like determination, Assassin's Mark. You can't equip claws because you don't have enough intelligence. I must have got lucky on my first run through is all I'm thinking, because the other two runs I've done have been pretty dreadful. So what it forced me to do is actually look at my endgame POB, which goes down here. And in all honesty, I understand why people went down there, but I have a feeling someone put a guide out saying go down here, so everyone did it. I've ran this through with people on our Discord who are much more knowledgeable than me on Lightning Strike. We've crunched loads of different numbers on different sides of the tree, and it is way more efficient early to mid game to stay right side. There is no need to go down here. Yes, you get an extra frenzy charge and you get these nodes here. This here is pointless because you don't actually need the reservation efficiency anymore. So you basically come down here to get some frenzy charge benefits, which you're only going to get if you stack in tons of frenzy charges. You're going to reap the benefits of the DPS. But I've weighed up both sides. DPS is pretty much bang on. But this side, you get about 35% more life, you get more crit, and it's much easier to switch into clusters because you've not got this huge bit of the tree that you can't respec. So I've changed the endgame POB to do the right side tree, and I've changed the leveling POB. Nothing changes in terms of the way you level. Your skills don't change, your auras don't change, other than you can add determination in early. Nothing changes other than the way you path on the tree. It also means we're going to be able to fill out more of this bit here. So your lethal pride could fit here or here with loads of nodes. So it actually gives you more option to pick up, hopefully a cheaper lethal pride. Feel free to just use the POBs that are in the descriptions, but I'm going to run through it with you just to show the changes. I've also updated the notes here to just explain when you want to switch and what you want to do. So if we just fast forward to Act 5, because nothing changes here, we're going up here to get the claw wheel. We take life, we take leech, we take suppression to make sure we're capped, accuracy and attack speed, life. This is exactly the same as I recommended before, and I still think it's the best way to go. Act 6 is where it starts to change. So Act 6 is when you're going to start to look towards your Nightblade switch. This mastery is super important now because we're not going to run precision. So dexterity accuracy bonus grants +3 to accuracy rating. It just means you don't need to run precision until you get to max. What we're going to do is take the dagger node as normal. The only difference is this line that sticks out here. The reason we're going there is we're heading for the reservation efficiency. So if we go to Act 7, where you should already be switched to Nightblade, you're going to take the reservation efficiency and then you're going to beeline up here. The reason you're doing it is for life, which is nice, but more importantly, you get 20 dex and 20 strength from these nodes, plus a ton of life. It just makes your attributes much easier. The other good thing about pathing this way is you go directly past a strength and intelligence node, which can be really handy just to allocate for a few acts in an emergency. Let's say you find an amazing claw, but you're 30 inch short. With this tree here, you're not next to an int node. You'd have to actually path 2 travel points to get to an intelligence node. So these are just really handy as a little, oh God, I need some intelligence or strength. Just respec them later. So then you've switched to Nightblade. Act 8, you're just going to go up to the top here to get more damage, more crit, more int. You can take these life nodes here, and then this node here is awesome. Forces of Nature, gives you 10% elemental penetration. At some point, you're going to allocate this mastery, which is increased effect of non-damaging ailments. Not worth it at the moment, though. So this would be your Act 8 tree. In Act 9, you're respecing this area here. Reason being, proj damage really starts to lose its effect. It's really like ridiculously good early on. It gives you so much damage. Later on, it's not really. So you can drop these nodes here and path this way. The reason I'm pathing this way is it's a mixture. Didn't mean to do that. It's a mixture of accuracy, attack speed, and damage. Even though it's only 16% global accuracy, it doesn't sound a lot. It makes a big difference because a lot of POBs I've seen for Lightning Strike on realistic gear are only about 97% capped, and I'm pretty sure mine might have been as well. You also get some life and evasion and life and evasion. It's a really, really good way to path out. You can, if you want to, just go up here and drop these nodes and sort of join up this way, but I really think You save maybe a point or two. I really think this is the best way to go. So you've basically done a respec in Act 9 of these points. That's all you've done. You're now sitting at level 62. You've started to come down here to get this life wheel ready to get ailment capped when you hit maps. And then Act 10, or we'll call it the beginning of maps, because the acts are kind of end of act. So this would be your mapping tree. You take these crit nodes, you fill out that life wheel, and you are good to go. Only thing you'll need to do at some point is swap this mastery. As soon as you start to see your accuracy drop below 100%, drop the mastery, change it to precision, reservation, efficiency, and start using precision. You will have enough mana to do it because your levels give you mana. And these two nodes, even though they don't look like a lot, strength and intelligence for a start, and 28% increased mana. So that is it really, it gives you like 150 mana, which is basically the same as the reservation efficiency down here. So when you go into maps, the tree is very similar to the one that goes down here. We can just fill out extra nodes. So when you get to early maps, you're going to take these nodes. They're really, really good. You get ailment effect, which is awesome. And then you get lots of damage and damage during your flask effect. These nodes can fall off super, super end game, but for now, they're still really, really good. Then we go to your lightning strike swap. If you don't have pierce on your gear, you're essentially adding in the pierce nodes here. You take in the mark and coal nodes here, and you take in point blank because it's a massive boost to damage for lightning strike. If you have got pierce, it means you can start to path up here and get your other frenzy charge, get a dual socket, and again, more intelligence. And then you end up with a tree like this. So you essentially, in terms of what's changed, you're going to get your last dual socket. You're going to fill out the crit mastery here to get more ailment effect. You take a dual socket, and then you go up here to get chaos resistance and corrupted blood. If for some reason you've got giga gear and you're already chaos resistance capped, you don't need it. But chaos damage is really prevalent at the moment in the game. And I've seen a lot of deaths last league to the Minotaurs that do chaos damage, where people are like, I've got 100k armor and I've got this and I'm dying, but they've got minus 60 chaos res. If they do a massive fizz hit with extras chaos, it's going to kill them. So that is the tree I would recommend for level 94. There's another POB with the end game setups with all the gear and stuff in and the trees. I've again followed this route. Stay right side. You do not need to go down to get your reservation efficiency. These nodes are actually not great until you're properly stacking your frenzy charges. So that covers it for the video. I just wanted to let people know because I did say don't use POBs till league launch. And that's the reason why I'm permanently testing for efficiency. And this is definitely better. It's much more comfortable leveling. You get much more life when you're mapping. It's just a general all-round better tree. The only way you might want to go down here is if you're a massive fan of Dark Ray Vectors and Farrell's Fur. Dark Ray Vectors also gives you bonus per charges and it gives you +1. If you were to go Farrell's Fur and Dark Rays, I'd probably go this way, but you are going to find yourself struggling to get to 3.5 to 4k life. So it's not something I recommend, but I know it is an item that people love using and, you know, use what you want, use whatever makes it fun. And then end game, if you ever get 300 ES or more on your tree, just take this node. It's 1 point. You're going to have enough evasion to almost regen your whole energy shield with Ghost Dance. When you're at end game, it's a really, really good node. So let's say you get a Blizzard Crown with intelligence. Even that on its own, if you can get some increased intelligence on it, is enough to run Ghost Dance. So I'm just going to very quickly save this, and then I'll just dip into the endgame POB. So this is the same POB as before in terms of gear. It's got higher budget in week 1. So if we go and take the week 1 items, and you can see the tree it should be exactly the same. There might be slightly variance, but I think it's exactly the same. I've put the Lethal Pride here, but we pick enough nodes up here that you could find a good roll. Here, obviously, you can't use it because you basically got 1 node. But you've got 2 really good slots to put a Lethal Pride. Then if we go to the higher budget, which is 97 points, we can still fit our cluster jewel in. We've got 144% life on the tree. So with endgame gear, we're looking at 5.3. And I think in the other POB that went down here, it was about 4.6. That is a big difference. 700 life is massive EHP. And like, look at these stats here when we've got a Molten Shell up. It's pretty insane. Even if we drop Molten Shell, we've still got an absolute insane amount of mitigation for a build that a lot of people say is squishy. So that's it for the video. Really sorry I've changed the POBs, but I couldn't let them go as they were because they just weren't as efficient. The other way still works. So if this message doesn't reach everyone, not the end of the world. They might struggle a bit with attributes. But on the other tree, I got to T16 maps without any issue whatsoever. I just got there easier with this one. You're not forced to play this. If you want to play the other POBs, go for it. I just think this way is definitely more efficient, and it's much easier to scale up a cluster and even two. So once you get so much crit that you don't need, for example, these crit nodes here, you can drop these nodes, get another cluster duel set up, maybe get a small live cluster in there to make up for these. You can end up getting much better end game DPS if you're not frenzy charge stacking, and that is super expensive end game stacking frenzy charges. You need synthesized shields and rings, and they cost an absolute fortune. It's never something I've done because I've never felt it warranted the investment. But that's enough of me waffling. All the POBs, by the time this video comes out and you're watching it, will be updated. The written forum guide will be updated, and I'm going to put notes on each of the video descriptions to say that I've changed a tree because it is just better. That's all there is to it. That's it for the video. Sorry I had to bring out another one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.